So, finished the rail key and finished putting all of the copper on the inside. And the neck is on. I just bolted the neck on. That was good. Bolted the neck on, which is like, you know, here's some screws. Put that in. Pretty simple. I recommend not dropping a loaded pickguard. Looks like we're okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the loaded pickguard back in here and just kind of tuck the wiring in a little bit so that I can see. Make sure everything's going to fit nice, but also see where the pickguard's going to be so I can mark and drill the holes. Now I want to make sure too that I have enough room for my tremolo right there. So that is pretty tight. It's not like one of these deals. Now what's close is this pot. That tone pot like totally fills the edge there, but I think that I'm okay. That looks pretty good. That actually fits nicely. Oh, this is going to be slick. So you can see where this is going to fit. That's the only other thing that's going to interfere, and I'll actually leave that right there just so that I make the right holes. And when I do this, I like to take just a little screwdriver and make a mark. Some people like using a pen, marker, whatever. I like making a little indent because then I know exactly where I want the hole to be. If you want to get even more specific with exactly where you want your holes, you can tape this pickguard down. It's not really moving around on me, so I'm not worried about it. Now you might even buy a body, whether you're getting a kit or just a body that has the pickguard holes pre-drilled, and if so, just make sure that whatever pickguard you're using on it is the same number of holes in the same format. Otherwise you end up double drilling, and most of the time you can't tell the difference until you take the pickguard off and you see like twice as many holes as you need. Yeah, it's unnecessary. Okay, so now that I've marked the holes, I'm going to carefully take this off. I take the tremolo off first. Take out my loaded pickguard with my StewMac 50s lovely Fender electronics I got. And there again you can see the copper shielding, pretty fun. Okay, so now that I have my holes marked, and let me double check this is the right so here's my screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hole. So I always want to double check my drill bit and make sure that the screws are just a little bit thicker than the drill bit. So then you know they're getting some grip on the wood. Drill bit, slightly smaller than screws. If you don't do that, you will be sorry when the screws go gloop. Also, great tip, plug in your drill if it's a corded drill. Can't make this stuff up, folks. All right. What? Okay. And all right. And I always keep some of these around if you don't have an air compressor. Clean off the holes, get any dust off of the pickup cavity itself. And this should be awesome. Now we'll just double check that. And tuck in our wiring. Yes. Yes. That looks pretty good. And I might say, this will look pretty sweet when it's done. Looking forward to that. Really happy with my color choices and the relicking, how that all turned out. Okay. Just a little extra bit of wax there. Okay, so now, what should be next? Do I really feel like wiring tonight? Is the question. Probably not. The switch is loaded, which is nice. So it's literally just the input jack. Yeah, the input jack. And ground. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to ground a Strat, just like a Telly. That makes sense. Unless this is just an extra. Probably need to ground it. So I'm gonna have to check the diagram and see where I need to ground that. You can see there's already shielding on this pickguard, which is nice. They installed that before they put all this stuff in, so I don't have to fiddle around with it. Okay, so now I'm going to mark my drill holes for my 6 inline tuners. These are Godo. They're made to look like the vintage Strat tuners, so I think these are going to be pretty sweet. The way the 6 inline works is you always know the front and the back because they actually have the whole hole here, and the other ones have this half hole on each side, so it kind of helps you line them up. So it helps with these to put them all on the line so you see that they're exactly where you want, and then you can make your hole marks as I knock everything around. And now I'm actually going to tape each of these down so that I don't move them once I start putting holes. Welcome back, guys. Here's the progress I've made. Really excited. Like, I get to this point in the guitar and just get antsy, and I just want it to be done. And I want to feel the strings and hear the noises. Yeah. Not there yet. What I'm going to do right now is I just started screwing in the bridge. So I've got the bridge here. This is my first time doing a Strat bridge. Lots of Tele bridges so far. But I've done like the Bigsby style tremolo, the big old thing. I've done hardtail. So first time doing the Strat tremolo, but I think I know how to do it. This part is actually, I think, easier to install than a Tele, basically. Then we got to install this part and do the strings and solder the ground. Did I say strings or springs? Springs? It's the springs. Boing! And solder the ground. Yes. Here we go. I always, when I'm screwing in components on a guitar, I always do it by hand. Some people will use a drill, a hand drill set to like a really slow speed. I just think it's better to feel it and to make sure you don't overdo it and strip out whatever you're trying to do. It's probably one of the worst things, but you'd have to stick a toothpick and some glue in there, and there's tricks to fix it, but it's just better if you do it right the first time. Alright, top part of the bridge, tremolo, is in. Time for the back. So, now I'm going to drill the holes here. I just marked them. So I'm going to drill these holes. And then you got to put in this claw. And I'm going to leave it maybe a 1/4 inch or so out, maybe 1/2 inch. And then you got to attach the springs to the actual tremolo bridge here. And I think I'm going to start with 3. Go on these 3 middle claws here. And go outside, middle, outside. And yeah, we'll go from there. So, time to get out the drill. Alright, I'm going to be careful as I do this. I do want this to be at a slight angle, and I really don't want to be roughing up my bridge or anything else. I did rough this up a little bit, but that just adds to my relic style. That's a nice thing about when you're doing a light relic build. Every mistake you made just adds to the flavor.